Welcome to week 2 launch training. I'm going to go out into my kitchen because I'm hopeful that if I'm in my kitchen, my internet will work. We are renting a home right now in Kansas City while we are building another home, and they put our internet at the far end of the house, and there's 2 bathrooms between my bedroom and where the internet is, and so I don't get good internet. So you'll have to bear with me because it will be louder out here, but it's better than not being able to hear me at all. So I'm going to start over and I'm going to share my screen with you. But basically, I just want to share a little bit about my goals with me and share a little bit about my beginnings with doTERRA, because, you know, I think a lot of times we look at where we are in our life and think, wow, I'm not where I want to be. This is frustrating. I'm not making the money I want to make. How am I going to get ahead in my life? What do I do? And so I wanted to share the story of my husband and I with you because, you know, I look back and I got married at 26 years old, and I graduated literally 2 weeks before I got married with my bachelor's degree. Yes, I know that I feel like a little Tommy Boy recap here where he graduates college in 8 years and someone makes fun of him and says, well, yeah, those are called doctors. Well, yes, I also was on the long path for school as well. But I graduated finally, and we graduated in the middle of the financial crisis. Like, jobs were very hard to come by. You know, we had just worked our buns off in school, and here we couldn't get these jobs. We moved to Boise. I got a job that I was told that I'd be doing one thing, and I ended up doing something completely else. And then, you know, my husband worked for somebody that literally didn't pay them anything that they said they would. And so it was very concerning. It was frustrating. It was like, wow, what did we do? So we both quit our jobs. The one that my husband was working for free, and mine where I was told I would be doing one thing, but basically I was doing cold calling at a call center, which was like honestly my worst nightmare. And I'm thinking, wow, I just graduated from college for this. That's excellent. Way to go, Jen. So we moved into my parents' basement, and we realized, you know what? We can continue to get these jobs that, yes, they will pay the bills, but they have no end. There's no end game that's appealing to us. Like, we would literally be working our way, you know, maybe up a little bit of a raise here and there, but they're not where we want to be. And so we decided to sacrifice. I got a job working for $11 an hour, weighing people and I was a professional pregnancy tester. I was the one, if you came in and thought you were pregnant, I'd test you to see if you're pregnant. So that's what I did with my bachelor's degree in business. I was making $11 an hour. We figured out exactly what my husband could pay himself so that we could make ends meet. And we had bought our first little home in Idaho Falls. They're very inexpensive. That's how we were able to afford it. We had a $750 mortgage. And we realized, you know what? We know that if we sacrifice right now, we can have what we want most. We are not going to give up what we want most for right now. We're not going to give up our dreams so that we can make $20 an hour instead of making $11 an hour at a job that would never get us anywhere. So my husband started building this business and his current business, and he now does very well with it. But for a while we were thinking, what are we doing? And then that's when doTERRA came into our life. And I thought, you know, honestly, yes, I could continue. I was making $40 an hour as a transcriber. So I'm skipping forward a little bit of time. I was making $40 an hour as a transcriber, but it was hauling buckets. And I realized that I could continue making $40 an hour. And you know what? That was an excellent income. However, it was on a school calendar. So anytime there was spring break, Christmas, Thanksgiving, summer, anything like that, I wasn't getting paid. And that's a big thing to not get paid for 3 months out of the year. And I realized, yes, this is a good income, but I would be giving up my dreams to settle for this income right now. And so I stepped back in transcribing once I hit the rank of diamond, which you may be thinking, well, you were diamond. Why did you do that? But it was still scary to take that leap of faith and say, you know what? I'm going to go for this. I am going to absolutely go for this business. I'm going to go all in with doTERRA, and I'm going to see what happens. And I will tell you that I'm so grateful that I did. I'm so grateful that I had that I followed my dreams, and that even though it didn't make any sense to give up an income for an income that, I mean, I knew people could make money with it. I didn't know if I could make money with it. I'm so grateful that I did that. And I took that chance, because you will find no greater job opportunity than a good network marketing company. And I truly believe that doTERRA is the best opportunity that there is out there. So I love it because I've created a very stable residual income for my family because of my beliefs in myself that I could do this, even though at the time we were living in the poorest of situations. So, and I don't want to say the poorest because there are always people that are worse off than you, but we were not flush with cash. I'll tell you that right now. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about the inviting section. So I'll tell you, I started doing this business and I right away decided to do a class. Well, that was great and dandy and all, but I didn't know how to invite people and I wasn't really willing to invite people the right way. And so of course I wasn't having that great of success with my classes. The first way that I invited somebody was and I still laugh about this, but basically I mailed them invites in the mail. I didn't reach out to anybody personally. I just wrote this cute little invitation and sent it to everybody in the mail, which is great. But nobody came to my first class. Nobody came because I didn't invite them properly. I had no idea what a sample was. I had no idea about sharing an oil experience. So I will tell you, when you hear from these companies, get in on the ground floor, run for your lives. Because you have an opportunity with a proven company, with amazing training systems, with people who are going to make this a million times easier. When you're starting on the ground floor, first of all, you don't know if the company you're working with is going to be in business 5 years from now, let alone a year from now. And you don't have the trainings and the resources and the people guiding you to the success like you do with doTERRA, which is growing faster and bigger than any other company right now, which is incredible. Even at 8 years old, 9 years old, are they 9 years old? Isn't that crazy? So we're going to talk about how to invite this week. So last week we talked about the prepare section, and this week we're on the invite section. So you will be watching the videos associated with the invite section. I will post these on the launch group, but you can always access these at sharesuccess.com/launch, and you can watch the invite videos. So we're going to dive right in and get started. We're going to start on page 8 of our guide. So basically what you need to do is create a names list of the people that you want to share with. And I will tell you that you know way more people than you think. I have so many people tell me, I don't know anybody. And I can't remember the average amount of people that each person knows, but it's in the thousands. It's not just, I don't know anybody. Well, who are your neighbors? Who delivers your mail? Who cuts your hair? Who are your kids' preschool teachers? You know, where do you shop for your groceries? I mean, you interact with people on a daily basis. Well, mostly on a daily basis. I realize that there are days when we don't leave our homes, but my guess is that you're still interacting with people on social media. So unless you are literally living in a cave, you are interacting with people on a daily basis, either social media or in person. So a lot of the people who will end up signing up with you and building this business are people that you already know. And that's always like this crazy thought to me is, wow, I bet some of my big builders that haven't signed up yet are people that I've known since I was little or a teenager. And that's always a crazy thought. So I always think about how I can share oils with people at a good time for them, because everybody has to be ready to accept and use these oils. So I always want to make sure that I'm open to sharing, that I always have my samples ready, and that I'm always looking for opportunities to share. So what I want this week, you guys are going to focus on creating that names list. And the guide walks you through how to do that. You're going to categorize your contacts, and you're going to put them into people who you think might be customers, sharers, and builders. Now, I want you to be very careful when you call somebody a builder. Don't use the term loosely. A builder is someone who is committed to this. There's someone that's going to place their monthly order no matter what. There are people who, no matter what the obstacles are in their life, are going to build this business. I am a builder. I am absolutely a builder, because I am committed to doing this no matter if I have a baby, if I move, if I have a miscarriage. Like, I'm just trying to think, if my husband is involved in a horrible accident, I'm still building this business. So you want to make sure that just because someone is like going to share an oil with their friend doesn't necessarily mean they're a builder. That means they're a sharer, but there's a big difference between a sharer and a builder. So a builder is someone who is going to be serious about this. So I want you to write down a list of 100 people that you want to share the oils with, that you want to share an experience with in some place or another. Now, I'm not going to go through all the specifics of page 8, but I would invite you to do that, because it's going to walk you through how to categorize them and how you might want to work with them. And so you're going to write down your top 25 prospects on the success tracker. And it allows you to track if you've shared a sample with them, if you've invited them, and then like if you've invited them to a class, like reminding them. It allows you to follow them through that pipeline, from starting with, if you look at this P was sharing, inviting, and reminding, all the way through if they become a a builder. So we're going to look at page 10, and that is sharing naturally. Now, I just moved to Kansas City, and part of the reason I moved here was because I was very excited to get out and build a business. Utah was a great place. I needed to leave for emotional and personal reasons. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to rock this doTERRA business. I'm going to really utilize the fact that less than 1% of the population here is enrolled. I think it's less than 0.5% of the population of Missouri is enrolled. And I'm going to share the oils with people out here because they are amazing. And I want people to experience the amazingness of these oils that I have. And so for me, do you want to know how I get enrollments? I make friends. It's as simple as that. I make friends. I didn't know anybody when I came out here aside from my parents, and they are already enrolled in doTERRA. And I knew my sister because she lives here as well, but she also is enrolled in doTERRA. So instead of looking at it like, oh, I need to go enroll all my neighbors, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go make friends with my neighbors, because the truth of it is, I will tell you that about half of the people that I become close friends with enroll in doTERRA to use the products. And some of those end up building the business. So I'm always very careful not to drown people or fire hose people or vomit on people about the oils or even the business opportunity, but I'm always very quick to share. I joined a networking group where you go to dinner and you bring your sample of your product to share. Now you realize you're sharing with 25 people who are also involved with a network marketing company that are also sharing their products. But I realized, we all have different products. They don't allow any two of the same type of company in, which is good. But I had a woman across from me who was having an asthma attack, and I pulled out my Breathe and I shared some of my Breathe just to help open up her airways. Not going to make claims about it stopping asthma or anything like that, but I simply shared some Breathe with her so that she could have a clear respiratory system and be able to breathe like she wanted to. So I shared that opportunity, and I simply just looked at her and said, are you open to trying something natural for what's going on right now? And she said, well, sure, why not? And so I shared some oils with her to help her to be able to breathe better. But I'm always looking for opportunities to share. Even though I had gone to give everybody there a sample, it would have been a shame for me to miss an opportunity when someone was currently in need of an oil. So I always have my oils with me, whether it's in my, unless I'm walking across the street, no, I don't. But I always have a diaper bag with me if I left my home. And I have oils in my diaper bag. I always have oils that I can share because I always want to be ready. So honestly, I focus on making friendships, because when I make friendships, people are interested in learning more about the oils. I also make it about them. I don't make it all about myself. I don't make it all about everything about me and my product and my company. I want to get to know and learn more about them. And then every time you do that, you will always find a good opportunity to share. So I have enrolled people that I've met on the airplane. In fact, I met a woman on an airplane a week and a half ago, and she has already enrolled. I met somebody who gave me a massage. She has already enrolled. But I've met my friend's mom, or my daughter's friend's mom, from a play date. She's already enrolled. So I just get out and meet people. And it's interesting how I continue to enroll. So for you, if you're just starting out, you have a whole field that's ready to harvest right now. People that are going to be interested in these oils, even if they've heard about them from someone else. People work with those who they know, like, and trust. So when you reach out to your friends, they may think, oh, I've been hearing about these, but wow, if you're using them, then I'm really interested. So this whole section talks about when and where to share, and it gives you tips. So I will give you some simple invitation tips right now. And that is, always have samples ready. Here's some pictures of some sample vials right here. And I always have a simple can be healthy guide, because I want to, or healthy can be simple. I always say things backwards, bless my heart. But I always like people to have a little bit of material that shows them how to use the product. And then I want them to have the product to try as well. So, and I keep it super simple. For example, if I'm just going to invite my neighbor to class, I'll just say, hey, I've been thinking about you. How are you doing? I'm doing good. And we chit chat and just say, I'm going to be doing an essential oil class at my home. And I don't know if you've ever had a chance to use essential oils, but there's something that I've become so passionate about. And so I wanted to bring you a little sample of wild orange and peppermint. And my favorite way to use them is just simply rubbing them in my hands and then breathing. I love a wild orange and peppermint. And I wanted to give you some so you could have an essential oil experience. And I also wanted to invite you to my class that I'm doing on Thursday. I would love for you to come. I keep it that simple. I don't act embarrassed. I'm not shy about it. I'm very direct to the point. I give them a sample because I want them to have an experience before they come to my class. So I literally keep it as simple as that. Now, some tips on sharing samples. You will want to share samples where people get immediate results. We want like oils that might help them sleep better, have a good night's sleep, oils that will release stomach pains, oils that will relieve head tension. You don't want to give oils for chronic problems because they would need to use way too much for way too long of a time to see results. So we want to get instant gratification oils. So think about some of your favorite instant gratification oils and have those be the oils that you share. And instant gratification can be smelling wild orange and just having a good, like, oh my gosh, that was just amazing smelling that. It smelled so good. So that's what I share. I share those. I also only give them 10 to 15 drops. I don't give them tons of oils. I want to be the person who samples them, not who supplies them. This will give you some good ways to talk with them. You always want to invite them, and then you want to remind them to come. I always, before my class, I always send out a text message 48 hours before reminding them about the class, and then I remind them again that day. And I'll just say, hey, I'm excited for you to come tonight. I have making my lavender bath salts right now, and I'm excited to share some with you. Now, some things that you want to avoid that I'll go over real quick are you do not want to do mass texts, mass emails, or Facebook invites, because you will have a very low percentage of people who even take the time to look at the invite. You want to make it personal and let them know why you want to share with them. That is going to be key. You want to be energetic and excited about this. If you're embarrassed or not sure what to think, people are going to feel that. If you make even the simple comment of who would be interested in learning about oils, I don't ever say that because everybody should be interested in oils, and I'm going to tell them why they should be. If somebody would have said, are you interested in learning about oils? I would have said no. I needed someone to say, Jen, I've been thinking about you. I want you to try these oils. These are going to be beneficial for you. If I know that it might be difficult to get them to a class where I don't have one set up for the immediate future, I invite them to do a one-on-one. So I met a woman on Saturday at the networking group I went to, and we're going to go have hot chocolate or coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but we're going to show up, and I might even order a water. But the point is I'm going to meet with her, and I'm going to share some oils with her at that time. But I always like to take it to the next level right away, whether I'm getting into a class, whether I'm doing a one-on-one, whatever it is. I want to get to know them better if I don't know them, or I want to give them a chance to learn about the oils right then and there. So this is a really good guide. This will give you some good tips. And honestly, if you want your business to work and work well, follow these tips. Don't think, well, yeah, but I'm going to do it like this because of this, or yeah, I'm just going to email because I don't want to bug people, or I don't want anyone. You're going to bug people more not being personal with them. So follow these tips. These will help you be successful. So this week, I want you to watch the videos on inviting, and we are going to be talking about, we're going to be sharing those videos with you all week on our group. So this is the invite section. Sorry about that. So I really want you to, and if you haven't, set up a class. Set up a time to have a class and start inviting people to your class. Make sure you have your samples. Make sure that you have your little cards ready to hand out, and create some success for yourself. This is so fun to share samples. There's nothing more fun for me than sharing a sample with someone. That is probably my favorite aspect of this business, is saying, I've been thinking about you, and I think you're really going to like this, and showing someone how to use it. So before we wrap up, I just want to ask if there's any quick questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.